Just gonna make sure everything's working. Trying to pull the stream so I can also share it. Give me one moment, folks. Give me one moment, folks. And it's official. We're live. I'm gonna share this to Facebook quick. And okay, I hope to see some comments today. So, yeah, where have I been for 2 months? The last time you guys saw me, I was actually unboxing this guitar, and it's been great. This is the last video. If you look at my channel, last video was the Kramer SM1 Metallic Red unboxing, and I've played this guitar a good handful of times over the past few months. I'll tell you what I did to it. So, um, just the way I play, I always disconnect the tone pots. This is the only SM1 that I've disconnected the tone pot on. Pretty much all my other guitars I do that, but I also installed Job Tone Yellow Jacket. It reads 14.3K on the money, so it's moderate output and it sounds really good. I'm actually connected so I can kind of showcase some of that, and I hope it translates pretty well. And then it also has the YJM set by Seymour Duncan. It's the Yngwie Malmsteen guitar pickups. So they've been really good. They're really high output, but they sound vintage, so it's really cool. If you've heard Yngwie Malmsteen, then you can probably get a pretty good idea of what these pickups do. And then I left the rest of the layout as was. So you have the 5-way switch still. You have the push-pull pot and the coil tap. Um, Other than that, the Schaller S-Locks, they're my new favorite um, strap locks. So check those out. Schaller S-Lock. Um, I have a Sega Dreamcast back there and a Super Nintendo on my on this dresser back here, the unusable dresser because it just has guitars in front of it, and then I have more over here. But yeah, so those 5 boxes in front of the consoles are actually Schaller S-Lock boxes. I love these so much. It's an all-in-one design, and if you're a fan of the original Schaller um, strap locks, then you're gonna like these a lot more, especially when it comes to the strap design, the part that screws onto the strap. Way better. So look at those. My recommendation. I mean, you don't have to. You don't want to. And turn that back down. My rack is in front of me. That's what my laptop and my interface and everything's on top of. And my foot, this guy right here, found its way to the volume knob on the front of the Helix. And yeah, so I just reworked this thing. Sure, you've seen pictures of my rack. I have a rack and then um, a 412 with its own road case and stuff like that. I removed the Hughes and Kettner Redbox 5 from the system, and I also found out, so the past probably 5 shows I've been having a gain issue, and not too much gain. I found it really difficult to play. It seemed like notes were getting choked out left and right, like had no sustain or balls. It sounded really thin and almost like you were talking through a megaphone or something. And but it's your guitar sound. And I found out what it was. So one of the pedals I use, the set screw on the gain knob must have gotten loose on the way back from Las Vegas or something. I don't know, but yeah. So it looked like the gain knob on this pedal was where it should have been, but it had actually slipped on the potentiometer. So I was using way less gain than I should have been using, if that makes sense. And I was trying to compensate by easing back my noise gate and Helix and then also cranking the gain on my amplifier. And it was introducing noise and like all this different stuff. And I was getting fed up with it. So fed up that, and this is kind of a disclaimer too. So we're going to go into this. Hughes and Kettner, when I was at Winter NAMM, and if you go back a few more videos, back to January, you'll see I posted a video of this It was in the Yorkville Sound, which is a PA company, I believe, and they distribute and do all sorts of other stuff. I'm not too well versed in this area yet because I just started exploring it this year, but the Black Spirit 200 came out about a year ago, and it's an amplifier for your guitar, and it's solid state, but it's built analog, and they sound and feel incredible. And I got to have some hands-on time at Winter NAMM, and actually Rob Welch from Tessie Switch, right down here. There's a his logo, Tessie Switch. We were just walking around and we went up there. I guess he knew some of the guys and stuff like that, and I was like, man, I really finally got to play that amp. And I sat down with it, and I just could not stop playing it. And I hated the guitar I was playing. It was just some Fender, and then they had a Gibson there. That one was pretty cool, but I'm not really used to playing Les Pauls because I don't own one. I don't have too many hours logged on a Les Paul, but that should probably change pretty soon. I should probably get one of those at some point. Same thing with a Stratocaster. I should probably buy one of those just so I can have some classics in my collection. I think everybody should have some classic guitars in their collection, even if it's new. I want to get something with a standard Stratocaster 2-point fulcrum style tremolo, and then just a hum single and a maple neck 22 fret if I can, and just rip on it. So that's kind of a goal of mine for this year. But they had those guitars there. I plugged in and I checked out all 4 channels on this amp, and it was incredible. It felt and sounded just like a tube amp. You can run the thing up to 200 watts. It's stupid, and it's like true 200 watts. It gets loud. You'd actually damage your speakers if you had, let's say, vintage 30s like I run. You would damage your speakers before you could max it out, I'm pretty sure. So it's way louder than I need for any shows. You can run it with a full range flat response cabinet. You can run it without anything and goes straight to front of house. Has built-in effects and a noise gate, onboard boost, and it's MIDI capable. So you can technically create 128 different presets and recall them with a MIDI controller. So long story short, I talked to one of the gentlemen at Hughes and Kettner, and he's one of the founding people behind the whole thing, Hughes and Kettner as a whole, and he told me to email him right after NAMM. So I did, and he followed up, and he put me in touch with some artist relations folks. And no, I don't have an endorsement with Hughes and Kettner. I wasn't even really seeking one, but I was looking to see if they might be able to send one out on loan or sell one to me on discount for like a one-time artist pricing or something. I just tried to make it work somehow. Fortunately, I should say, for the artist relation guy, he's on tour with Kiss right now, so I can't be too mad. I mean, he's out there doing what he loves, and I can't be too mad for it. So the downside is I never did get a response. The person that I was working with at Hughes and Kettner that asked me to email him, he friended me on Facebook. He's been awesome, very responsive. They have a great community based around this amplifier. I've been in the Black Spirit 200 group for about, I want to say, a few weeks now, just trying to feel it out and see how the community, see how active they are, because I'm in the Helix forum, the Line 6 Helix Family Products Official Original, and it just hit 23,000 members this week, and that's a huge accomplishment. Well, the guy that co-runs that page, Chris Saraga, he also runs the Hughes and Kettner Black Spirit 200 page. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to join that page and just see what's going on in there. So, longer story shorter, your boy got himself a Black Spirit 200, and it's outstanding. I had one issue with it, and my contact at Hughes and Kettner went into the studio, or their showroom floor or whatever. I'm pretty sure it was their I just had a stroke. Showroom floor, and he created 3 different presets to help me get closer to the sound I was after. Now, there's more than enough gain on tap. and it sustains and sings and does everything that it did when I tried it out. And the only thing I wasn't utilizing was the sag knob. So there's a sag knob on here that emulates when you really push a power amp to its like it's about to die. Like you're pushing the thing so hard. Think of a Marshall cranked on 10, how it just sounds like not just huge, but it sounds bloated. It sounds like it's about to explode, like your transformer is going to melt. That's what that knob does. So I turned it up to about 5 or 6, and it's allowed me to roll my volume knob back again. Um, so that was my problem. I was having enough gain. It was doing everything I wanted to when the guitar volume knob was all the way up. The only problem was when I rolled it back, it just thinned out, and all the bottom end of the EQ fell out from under my tone. And it didn't matter what position I was in on the switch. It didn't matter. It just, that was the problem. I was considering returning this. Long story short, my contact hooked it up with those presets and said, hey, that's a feature that we worked really hard on for people like you. So, use it. I did, and it works. So, yeah, it's like 7 pounds, and I'm going to build a rig around this at some point. Luckily, I fixed my main rig, so why dump a bunch of money into changing something right now? I'll just keep running this for a while and enjoy my big boy setup, and then I'll use this Black Spirit 200 for fly dates, and then as a backup, I'm going to be taking it with me everywhere. And if my tube amp ever goes down, then I'm hooking the Hughes and Kettner up in its place, and I'll be able to continue rocking. And I already created some presets and set it up with my Helix Floor. Helix Floor is changing all the channels, turning on and off effects, and it's been really great. So if you're wondering if you can use your Helix with this unit, totally can. Let's check out the comments because I do see some on the right hand side. I'm going to look at my phone though, if that's okay. Oh man, we got Ben Coombs in here, man. I'm going to apologize to you. I've basically fallen off the face of the earth. I have been so busy that I just don't know what to do with any free time. I've been seeing a girl. Her name's Meg. She's really cool. So some of my time's gone to her. I built a snake after work today. If you want to check it out, it's on my Facebook. I posted it on my story. So there's some of the work. There's 3 things on my story right now, I believe. Maybe 2, maybe 1 fell off. But some of the work I did to the rack, and it shows some of the wiring that I do. Which look at the back of the Helix rack because it has it features the square plug SP400 connectors. I got those from Bestronix Pro Audio, or btpa.com for short. That's where I source my cabling, most of my components for my builds, and those neat little patch panels that go on my pedal train stuff. I should try to get hooked up with those guys because they're always excellent to me. I did have a request though. I requested that the 90-foot spool of Mogami 2425 cable. I just gave you the model number of the cable, but it's guitar cable, right? It's 20 gauge shielded, and it's awesome cable. Super cool. It's super thin, and that's why I wanted to put in the snake that I built today. So I said, hey, when you unspool it, can you cut out 3 different 30-foot sections for this 30-foot snake? So it makes my life easy. I can just run it through the sleeve or TechFlex and solder the ends on and call it a day. But no, I had to sit there and measure it out. So 30 feet. Had to do all that. All right. So we got Sonia in here. I haven't seen you in a while. You used to comment on my stuff all the time when I actually posted some stuff. So it's good to see you. I think you're on Facebook too, but I'm on there a lot. I don't look at a lot of posts, I guess, unless they're guitar related. So I apologize. Robbie, you're in a loud environment. Wear hearing protection. Actually, today I found out there's a post. My buddy Kelly, sound engineer, or sound guy, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. What do you call yourself? He's never going to watch this. He saw an article and shared it, and it said that scientists might have, or like doctors or something might have found a cure for tinnitus. So if your ears ring because you listen to loud stuff, there might be a cure coming your way. It's probably going to cost an arm and a leg, though. Shane? Hey, Jamie, how's it going, Shane? Yeah, Rob is a good guy. Yeah, Rob's awesome. I was actually just on the phone with him the other day. We were talking about. I placed an order for two. I got two Filos, so the Tessie 16 millimeter buttons, because my black and white crackle guitar has a black and green LED in it right now. Well, black switch, green LED, and I'm gonna switch that over to black switch, white LED. I just used what I had at the moment. Green, green looks cool. Black, white, green. And the other switch I got was black and yellow, and I posted a teaser on my story on Facebook, and I'll show this to you right quick because it's so cool. First, I'll tell you the story. So the story goes, I'm always shopping on Reverb and Craigslist and all that stuff. Some guy posted on one of the Kramer pages, which is a nationwide, more than nationwide page where um, people go to discuss Kramer guitars, old and new. Mainly old on this one in particular. The Kramer community is kind of divided right now in that way. It's like you have the guys that are just diehard, like it needs to have been manufactured and by ESP and then assembled in New Jersey, and some of the parts had to have came from Canada, and it had to be painted by this guy, and it has this weird serial plate. Like there's those diehards, and trust me, I'm one of them. Like most of my collection is the new Kramer guitars, because that's when I first started buying Kramer guitars. 2010, 2011, that period. Um, so I have a few vintage ones. They're not anything special, but they're special to me, and I definitely can appreciate what the community means when they're just that passionate about it. So then you have your new Kramer fans, and they don't really post on that forum too much because they get some flack. They're like, hey, that's not a real Kramer, blah blah blah. It's a real Kramer. You're just kind of talking smack to people that just want to appreciate the brand for what it is now. I mean, the old Kramer's gone. It's never coming back. This is Kramer now, and they're in good hands. So, especially with the Night Swan coming back out, this SM1 that's based on the Stagemaster, which is an ESP design. ESP has their Horizon, looks just like it. I like the headstock on this one more, and I like the neck profile more, and I like the switching. So, get the SM1. I'm just gonna tell you. But yeah, the Night Swan's coming back out. They have the Jersey Star coming back out. And they're really great guitars. New colors for the 84 series and the Vintage series for the Berettas. Highly recommend those. If you're a single humbucker guy and you can pull up on the volume knob, and then you get a nice fat, kind of sounds like you're using a bridge and middle pickup. And it's great for lead work too. So a lot of flexibility there. And other thing, Kramer's, unless you're getting like one of the lower, like the lower end of the price spectrum, like the more beginner guitars, they'll come with FRT 1000 or better, which this SM1, basically what it is, different country of origin for manufacturing, and pretty much super close to the same spec, and they last super long. Like the knife edges on the Floyd don't wear too quick or anything. And yeah, I can't remember the last time I've actually had to replace one from using the hell out of it. And my purple guitar, for example, with the burnt chrome Floyd Rose on it, I'm looking for one. Oh, there's one right here. I have a few of these, but let's see if that'll focus quick. Yeah, so it's just super cool. Um, yeah, that's an FRT 1000, and that one did not wear out to any capacity. And I even adjusted the level the height of the bridge under tension on that guitar several times. So, um, yeah, it's a good bridge if you can find them, because they're OE only unless you get this burnt chrome one. That one's available in the aftermarket, but if you buy like maybe a $600 to $1,000 Jackson, or BC Rich or Dean or whatever, I don't know. Like they usually always come with FRT 1000s. The specials are on like your Jackson JS series guitars. It's like the lower end Ibanez bridges. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. But the black and yellow Tessie switch. Um, Let me finish the story. Guy was on Facebook. This will be quick, and he posted this guitar, and he said, "Hey, thinking about selling this. Would anybody be interested in buying it?" I commented first. I saw it right away, and I said, "Yeah, I would. Get a price together and let me know what it is." And he never got a price together, but he did message me. We're actually friends on Facebook now. Talked to the guy for quite a while, and he pulled the post down because I agreed to buy it. He didn't want to ship it. Come to find out, this guy's pretty local to me. He's only about an hour away from where I live. I was like, shit, I'll come pick it up Saturday from you. I wanted to get it sooner, but I had shows that actually just this last week, Thursday and Friday. Um, the first one was at LaFontaine. It's a Dodge Chrysler dealership. It's really nice, but it was a corporate thing we did. But they had a stage set up in their showroom slash service lane. It was crazy. It was like an echo chamber. But I mean, it's work. That's why we do it, right? To entertain people. And like my buddy Darren Moore, and I were just going back and forth with like all these like, oh, there's a mosquito. Why? Like, welcome to LaFontaine. We've got tons of cars. And like Bon Jovi, raise your hands. Like, do you want 0% APR on your next purchase? Like, then raise your hands. Bon Jovi does. He loves 0% down. Like, it was just terrible examples just now, but we had a list going and it was just hilarious. We went back and forth for probably an hour and I was crying. But yeah, so Saturday I picked this up from him. Got it for a really good deal. He thought it was fair. I'm gonna get it because that's not gonna be in here all night. I probably have Ebola now. Ebola, but that itches instantly. I'm not okay with that to any capacity. But yeah, it's my new project guitar, and I made some changes. It came with the Jolly Roger Godo tuners. I put standard buttons on there because I have an automatic string winder. It's the Ernie Ball one, and it did not fit onto the peg, so I had to switch those out. Honestly, I thought it was kind of gaudy anyways. So I bagged them up and I put them in my storage bin with all my other parts so that I can always restore it to original if I'd like to. I have to drill out these holes because I have S-locks I'm going to put on this guitar. And I just placed my first order with Floyd Rose today. That's another thing you can see at the bottom. I'm not going to comment on it. But I'm going to say this. It was a really good opportunity. And trust me, I have tons of respect for the company I used to work with. I tried to reach out to that company and express my gratitude. And if the gentleman in particular watches this, then thank you for your support. This is not the medium which I feel like I should be doing this, but I tried to call, and I know you're a busy person. I'm in the context of the people you work with. I don't know that I was, that big of an asset. I know I sold some parts, and that's cool. but I had a really good opportunity, and I had to pursue it. I'm happy that I pursued it, and just looking out for your support to my friends and fans, anybody that's watching this. Um, let's see here. I gotta check some of these comments, but yeah, thank you. And if you're mad, I'm sorry. I'm a little goldfish in your koi pond, So just keep doing what you're doing, and I don't have any ill will towards you or anything like that. It's just it was time for me to progress. And if you'd like to reach out, talk, totally do that. I don't know if I really have much to say other than thank you, but yeah, that's all I can really say. I know this is awkward. Um, let's see here. Sonia, I don't post much. Might ask questions. Oh yeah, Ben, you definitely got. You guys have Long McQuaid up there, and I know they carry like a bunch of like trainer amps, and they have a bunch of Line 6 stuff. And because I've been to two different Long and McQuaid's. When I was in Canada, when I went to Niagara Falls, I made it a point to go to Long and McQuaid, and I went to two different shops. They had a Charvette for like 100. No, it was a Charvel 175 XL or something weird like that, and I could have bought that thing for like $125, and it was a hoopty. It was indeed love, but it played great, and I wanted it so bad. Like the Canadian price was like 200 something, and the U.S. price was like 125 out the door. Like I forgot, I don't know the conversion rate, but it was something stupid like that, and I passed on it because I would have had to put a bunch of work into that guitar, and I have guitars here that I want to upgrade still, so um, I passed on it, and it actually sold pretty soon after because I was going to buy it after I got home, and then had not buyer's remorse, pass up remorse because I still wanted it. So um, Ben says I've had tinnitus for 30 years, so yeah, look into that. It might be a thing soon. Probably could find it on Google. Gary Kramer was watching your show last week. That's insane. Wow, dude. That's cool. Sony says I like the Tessie Switch. I love Tessie Switch. Rob Welch is a really cool guy. He can actually play the guitar, so he's not just some suit in the industry. Now at NAMM, he does wear a suit sometimes, and he looks great. On the phone the other day, he had me compliment his eyes. That's what kind of relationship I tend to have with the people I work with. And Rob is probably one of the coolest that I work with. So yeah, I'm going to definitely support him until the day I die because he's just a good guy. Good guy, Rob. Um, if you want, I believe it's still active. And if it's not, I'll get something set up. But if you guys want to place an order at tessieswitch.com, use coupon code THELAW25. I'm going to throw it in the chat quick. Or maybe it's just Law25. But I'm pretty sure it's The Law25. And then you get 25% off your purchase. I know my buddy used it not too long ago, so it might still work if you guys want Dusty Switches. I never share that. I probably should share. I have a coupon code. All right. Well, Ben, you got to put it in order. Try it. If it doesn't work, message me, and I'll get with Rob and make it happen for you. So perfect. Cure for Alzheimer's. Wow. Just keep reading. Read and mess with the Rubik's cubes and stuff. My grandmother, after my grandfather passed away, she fell prey to Alzheimer's, and it was the worst thing. Like she was reading all the time, and then it was just like, I mean, you've probably been around people that have a really bad case of Alzheimer's. It sucks. Like it's almost like they're gone in a way. So yeah, you got to cherish your loved ones, and hopefully that cure is a real thing, and that it can be implemented soon, so that people can enjoy their life to its fullest extent. I would hate. I mean, for myself to fall prey to Alzheimer's, and then I don't want to feel like I'm a burden to anybody. And I know that, especially me, I used to care for my grandfather. The VA hospital, that was one of my first jobs, and I got to work for my grandfather and take care of him for like 2.5, 3 years. This was during high school, so think like 2009, 2010, and it was a blessing. I learned a lot, and I grew even closer to my grandfather. He taught me how to shoot a gun. He taught me how to restring a weed whacker. I had my first beer with my grandfather. Like, I loved him so much, and I still do. I miss him. Same thing with my grandmother. Uh, to put it into context for you, so also, uh, every summer, I always looked forward to every summer because my grandparents had a camper, and they bought new ones over the years and stuff like that. But their favorite thing was going to a campsite called Outdoor Adventures. And here in Michigan, there's a few of them. And if you pull them up on Google Maps and look at the layout for the campground, you can see it's kind of more of like a commercialized campsite. It's not so much as you're roughing it. Like they have indoor pools, they have an arcade, they have vending machines around and just all sorts of different stuff you can do. They have stores, like small shops. You can go in and get uh, hand dipped ice cream, like where they scoop it. I think soft serve. No, it's not soft serve. It's like the scooped waffle cones and stuff like that. Outdoor pools. They have ponds at every resort where you can rent kayaks and go swimming. So there's a lot to do. My favorite thing was riding bikes. So I would go up there and meet up with my friends that I didn't see for the entire year. And we'd meet up, and it's like we never left each other. And it was like entering Neverland or something crazy like that. It was my favorite memory from my childhood was riding bikes up there. And yeah, so that's what we did. And I was up there for like 2-3 weeks at a time every summer, and it was the best. And I never got homesick either because it was just so much fun being up there. Um, yeah, super cool memories. Let's see what else we got. Jay Swanee, longtime friend. We went to school together. We played a lot of Xbox together. Uh, he's probably on a bridge right now, if he's still watching. That's an inside joke from Xbox. We played Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, um, probably Gears of War, definitely Halo. But I'd come home from school in high school, and I would turn on my Xbox and play Xbox Live for like 10 hours, and I would not go to bed. And we just stayed in Xbox Live chat for the entire time. It was like a ritual. Like, I met people in New Jersey that I feel like I could trust my life with that I've never met, just because that's how hard we bonded. I have friends in Wisconsin, Jared Meyer. He you know, he's always in touch. He has a wife and a son, and you know, another person that I would trust my life with, and I'm sure he would trust his life with me too. It's like almost like a virtual brother, like a group of virtual brothers or something like that. Like, it's inside jokes, personal information, all this stuff we shared over the course of years, and we had friends come and go. It's like we actually like hung out with each other. Like, it's how close. Like, we'd wake up in the morning and jump on live, and it's like, hey, you're up early or you're up late. Like, where the hell were you? Like, um, just crazy. Sonia, later. I know you're already gone, but uh, 70 locations now for Long and McQuaid. That's crazy. Wow. Insane. Am I going to Summer NAMM? Plan on meeting up with Rob at some point. I actually was invited back by Gibson Brands for Kramer Guitars. Unfortunately, I had to decline because I have so many shows, so many weekday shows this year. I actually play that Saturday, so it just wouldn't work out. Summer NAMM is way cheaper uh, as well. And check into Airbnb when you're in the area, Ben, because that's what I did in 2016, and I saved a lot of money, and I had my privacy, and I wasn't too far away from the convention. It was like maybe a 15-minute 10-15 minute drive. Or you, on the flip side, you can just get a hotel or a room with somebody and save money there. I mean, you already know about all that, so you got that figured out. I'm preaching to the choir, but Airbnb, if you haven't looked into that, that's something I would suggest. Um, if you want a stove and all that stuff, I mean, there's some give and take there, but like distance, but you also get a stove, so there's a trade off. Um, but no, dude, I can't attend this year. I wish I could because the new Kramers and you know other cool information coming out, and I of course am a gear fiend, so I want to try out all the newest gear. Uh, the best thing I can suggest to anybody that can't go to Summer NAMM or any NAMM, CES even, is there's a website. It's called, um, what is that called? It's not Loudwire. It's Music Radar. It's musicradar.com, and it's like a news outlet for new gear. For instance, I found out about the Hughes and Kettner Black Spirit 200 combo amp yesterday or the day before, and I was actually messaging with the Hughes and Kettner employee. And when I say employee, like this guy is like super high up. I don't want to drop his name, but his last name is kind of like Kettner. It like that's the level of customer service that company is willing to give off. And there's a weird reputation with Blackstar and Hughes and Kettner. I've noticed just being on the forums. It's like it doesn't really have its own sound. It sounds good, but it's like it doesn't sound like it. You don't need to compare everything to other things. Like if it sounds good, then it is good, and then rock it. Like is the Blackstar has its own sound. Does it sound like 80s? Yeah. Can I play on it? Yeah. Um, Hughes and Kettner has its own sound. Is it that different than the Blackstar? I wouldn't say so. Is that different than a Marshall, like a hot rodded Marshall? Yeah, I wouldn't say so. When you turn it to clean, does it kind of do the Fender Tweed Deluxe thing? Yeah, it does. Or the I wouldn't say Jazz Chorus 120, but um, you know what I'm getting at. It's like just rock what you got and love it. Um, but yeah, some food for thought. If you don't want the Hughes and Kettner 200-watt head, that's only like 7-8 pounds. It's stupid. Um, and that's rack mountable, by the way. I have rack ears on the way for this amp. Then get the combo amp, and it has a special cabinet for this combo that's ported, and it's supposed to. They're advertising it as the biggest sounding combo amp money can buy. And I'm not sure what the price is or anything, but I know the price on the Black Spirit 200 just went up from $879 due to tariffs. It's going up to around $1,000 at Sweetwater. So if you want one of these amps before the stores start leveling prices on this and catching up, get one now, or look for B stock or an open box, a used unit, because you can still find them for between $730 and $800, and you'll still save a little bit of money and probably have it shipped to you for that cost after tax and everything. So jump on it now before the prices inflate, because it's going to happen. What else? What else can I talk about? We'll wrap up this guitar. Sorry for jumping around. There's just a lot I wanted to talk about. I've just been so busy. Shows pretty much every weekend, and then I work a 40-hour day job, and then I'm also squeezing in other extracurricular stuff like rebuilding my rack, building snakes, helping people. I spent time with Jared and Darren the other day. We did a live stream. We reviewed some presets that weren't that good and gave our honest opinion about it, and just try to clear the air, because there's kind of a divide going on, and I understand why, but most people in the group we stream to probably wouldn't understand why, unless they're like an admin or something. But yeah, just really unfortunate stuff. That it's a guy that I did a few shows with on YouTube here. He makes these presets for Helix, and I wanted to like him, but I just can't like him. Unfortunately, I'm not going to talk about what where you can find the presets are at or what they are, but just know when something's not good, I'm going to tell people it's not good. And I'll also justify if something's not good and there are some justifiable qualities about that thing. I'm going to still try to talk about the good about it, but if it's so far gone that there are no redeeming qualities, then I have to tell consumers about it. I'm just honest. I'm upfront and honest about it. I'm honest to a fault. Like, I have nothing to gain or lose, so without slamming the guy too much, I or at all, I basically just voice my opinion. But yeah, has to be said. Like, can't be yes men in this community, especially when people look to you for advice. You gotta speak up for or warn people like, hey, I mean, you can still buy that thing, and if it's if it's exactly what I said it was and it's not good, then I hope that you can get your money back for it. That's very important. And sometimes it's worth taking a chance on something. Like, one thing that doesn't work for me might work for you. Something that works for you might not work for me. And did I think I just said the same thing but backwards? I mean, you know what I'm saying though. Sometimes you got to take a chance on a purchase and vet the products for yourself. Hey, you want to compare two speakers? Well, I'm not going to do it for you. I'll tell you which one I like better if I've tried them. But the best thing you can do is probably just go into sorry, looks like my level is kind of low. The best thing you can do is just go to the store and try out the products for yourself. It's the first thing I would suggest to anybody. I mean, get your own impression on it, because your impression is the one that matters. I'm not the one that's playing your guitar for you. And just as well, if there's something not good about my tone, or you ask if what I think of your tone, if I give my opinion on it, it's it doesn't mean you need to change anything. That my negative opinion about something might be a positive in your eyes. So yeah, I'm just here to try to help people be happy, I guess. That's why I don't charge people for a lot of my services, or when I give advice on setting up guitars, or what parts to put in your guitars, or rig building, or how to play something. I like to just help people so that they can be happy and they don't get frustrated and quit playing guitar. That's my goal. And my goal for this is Job Tone Yellow Jacket. I'm still trying to decide what I'm putting in here. Maybe a Hornet or something weird. Might try to put like a DiMarzio in there or something. Like, I'm still on the Job Tone train. Of course, I'm an advocate for the brand. Byron's awesome, Byron Job. But I don't want it to be just like my black and white crackle. I kind of want it to be a little bit different. So I might test out a few pickups in this position, because for a full-size humbucker, I'm trying to get that YJM style sound. So that's a goal for me. I got this 500K YJM pot in the mail today. And then I have the DiMarzio 3-way switch on the way, which is a DP4T or something weird like that. It has like a bunch of pulls on the bottom. It's a closed switch. And it's the one that they put on John Petrucci's guitars. And this one feels really good. It also has a push-pull pot. But I don't know, man. I'm going to disconnect this and put a Tessie switch in there. Floyd Rose Original is going in this. Ordered the parts today. That was my first order from Floyd Rose. And excited for that. Not too much else to say. I mean, there's some wear on this guitar. It has some love. There's like chips and dings, and there's like a dent, pretty good sized dent inside of the fretboard, but whatever, it's all character. For the price I paid, and for as hard as it is to find this guitar, pretty much well worth it. The biggest thing I hate about it is the fact that it's a reverse headstock. I really don't play reverse headstock guitars unless they look like a Night Swan. This one, I'll do it. I'll do it because it's the same neck profile I've been used to playing for a little while, and the guitar just looks sweet. Like, you can't argue with this. Plus, you can hook chicks in the neck with the freaking headstock, like the other way. like you can just stab people with it, but this is like for like you can be like little Bo Peep and wrangle chicks in to do your bidding. So more comments. I'm gonna play a little bit of guitar. It's direct, so there shouldn't be too much noise. Let's see here. Darren Moore. Good morning, sir. Oh yeah, there you go. Ben Coombe says he's sleeping on a couch, staying with a guy that works for Premier Guitar. Perfect. And then you guys can share inside information, and because that guy's gonna know some stuff, rather than bunking with freaking, Joe Schmo that doesn't even play guitar, wants to go to NAMM. So that's gonna be cool, man. You'll have to like have a cameo in one of their videos or something, like, hey, this is Rich with Premier Guitar, and then like Ben's just in the back, like awkwardly smiling and just staring. Don't blink, just stare at the camera. If you do that, I'm gonna send you something. I don't know what I'll send you. But yeah, let's check this out. So that's a YJM. It's a little bit saturated right now because I'm pushing the power amp. The cool thing about this amp is it has an emulated output for speaker modeling on the back. Just one option, but it's very believable. EQ is very good. But I leave it in standby. It's connected to a cabinet right now so that it's a tube amp, so you need a load on it. Actually, this amp you can run without a cab if you just go DI, but I don't want to risk blowing it up. It says it in the manual and everything that you can do that, but I don't know. I don't know too many people that do that. Like, they always load them down, so I think I'm going to take my chances and not try that. But yeah, it's in standby, so nothing's coming out of the 412, and this is just direct right here, XLR to TRS. And I hope it sounds good. So yeah, just a quick sound sample for you. Let me see if I can change this to my clean patch. Isn't that nice? This is the Helix rack. It's Roland Jazz Chorus 120. And it's going right into the return of the power amp. Kind of sounds like a PA zone away. difference there. Is the knob down? Yeah. So many switching options on this guitar, it's insane. Very resonant. I just love this guitar, man. So, like, new colors are coming out for this. I don't know if the Candy Apple Red's going to be around for very much longer. So if you want one, now's the time to get it. Last time I checked, Gibson had a few. Oh, contact Epiphone. Go to epiphone.com and you can shop for these. Just email their sales team directly or call them and say, hey, check your warehouse. Do you still have this? And then see if you can get it. It's not too bad. It's under $1,000. And they run deals on these sometimes without telling anybody. So it's another thing. If you want to get an Epiphone or a Kramer, sometimes they'll run random specials and you can get a guitar that's like just blown out, like price wise. So, yeah, just going to check a few more comments here. This was a life update. Wanted to update you guys. I feel like it was long overdue. Nice tone. Thanks, Ben. Thank you. And hey, thanks for popping in, man. I've been watching a little bit of your stuff. I'm excited to see what you do with that guitar body. Just know I'm watching when I can, and yeah, keep doing your thing. Always feel free to message me, bounce ideas off me. If I can help you out in any way, I totally will. Again, thank you for having me on your show a while ago. If anybody watches this, check out Ben Coombs. He runs his own YouTube channel and he's very active on it. He talks about guitar gear, showcases strange and weird pedals quite often, and different jams. Very creative and super knowledgeable when it comes to guitar stuff. So subscribe to Ben Coombs and give some of his videos a watch and a like. That's my endorsement for you, Ben. Other than that, Darren, thanks for popping in, buddy. Papa bless. Let's see here. I'm pretty sure we're caught up. Yeah. Right back at you, man. All right. Well, guys, I'm going to be out of here, and I'll update the video later. I got some stuff to do. But smoke cigarettes? Don't smoke cigarettes. That's a terrible way to say goodbye. You can, like, I don't know, do something positive with the rest of your afternoon. Pay it forward at the coffee shop or something. I don't know. Yeah, I'll make a video on the Black Spirit 200 coming up sometime if you want. If you want to check it out now, go to my channel and you can watch the Black Spirit 200 live video that I took. It was their press conference in the Yorkville Sound Room at Winter NAMM in Anaheim, California in January. You have some of the high-ups talking about the product, and you have some of the people that were involved in the marketing for that video that they're also YouTubers that played in the marketing videos for this amplifier, and they're funny, and it's really cool. I just filmed it on my phone. Got it. You're not gonna eat me tonight, mosquito. I knew I was gonna get it. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna be out of here. Check that video out, and yeah, subscribe. Send some love my way, and I'll send love your way, like I do. And yeah, smoke cigarettes. What the hell? Smoke cigarettes. See you guys.